Brexit, the whole purpose of Brexit was to move Britain closer to the United States. It is to, you might say, Americanize British society in a whole series of ways from foreign policy. I mean, you might think that Britain has been following for the last 100 years, following everything the United States did, but we did have one or two minor differences. Thatcher, for example, supported the construction of the gas pipelines from the then Soviet Union to Western Europe. Britain had Huawei within its telecommunications system, despite the fact the United States. Now the aim is to eliminate even these small differences which exist with the United States, as is seen by excluding Huawei from the British telecommunications system, and to follow the United States in almost everything. And also to Americanize British society, to get rid of welfare, to get rid of economic regulation, to get rid of environmental protection. So unless the United States changed its policy and didn't become hostile to China, which I would like to see, but unfortunately I don't believe will happen, Britain will continue to follow the United States, and that means it will be hostile to China. And I'm afraid that Sunak, the new Prime Minister, won't change that policy at all. Well, how it hit the economy is very simple. There's almost no increase in business investment in the last 6 years since Brexit. If you see the trend of investment in Britain was going up, and then Britain voted for Brexit and it stops going up. Britain's exports have not gone up, and this is perfectly logical. As we've just left our largest trading partner, Britain does 3 times as much trade with the European Union as it does with the United States. If you leave your largest trading partner, don't expect your exports to do well. So the economic effect is very clear, but then it also destabilized politics, because Brexit was sold to the British people with a hidden goal. The rhetoric which came from the Conservative Party and from the pro-Brexiteers was Britain was going to be independent, global Britain, etc. It's rather ridiculous. It sounds like, you know, the British Empire or something. I mean, in the 19th century, Britain was the most powerful country in the world and could pursue an independent policy, but it's not the most powerful country in the world anymore. And the real reality is Britain can't be independent of one of 2 blocks. One is the European Union, which is one of the world's largest economic blocks, and which is essentially the same size as the United States, which is the other largest capitalist economic bloc. So although there was a rhetoric about Britain was going to be independent and global, in reality, by leaving Europe, what was really being done, it was moving Britain closer to the United States. But this couldn't be said openly, because if you said to the British people, do you want to be like the United States? The answer you would get is no, because they like the public health service, they like the environmental protection, they don't like fracking, they like the welfare system, they don't want the deregulation of markets. So you had to conceal from the British people what was the real goal of Brexit. Now, of course, what they're trying to do, which Truss tried to do, is to implement Brexit, and this is extremely unpopular. So therefore, Brexit has led Britain into a mess from 2 points of view. One, it was economically irrational. That is, it's damaged the British economy. And secondly, it concealed what was its real political goals. And as the real political goals become evident, they become unpopular. So that's why you've had a simultaneous economic and a political crisis in Britain at the same time.